There are a lot of videos online that show you how to progressively get better at jumping. Honestly, nothing sticks with me, and I'll tell you why. Nothing works for me because in reality, a lot of the trails that they show you, you don't have them in your local trails. So you want to practice with something that you're familiar with. A lot of these videos tell you that you got to start doing jumps on gaps, which is pretty crazy, right? And a lot of you know that you can actually start with tabletops, but they show you videos on some really cool trails that show you how to progressively get better. Hey, but come on, you don't have those trails in your, local community. You got to find some unique features on your local trails that will help you progress, like this one. This is my local trail. I have a tabletop right here that it's about 10-12 feet long, and I have a booter right next to it. If you hit the booter, you might be able to clear the tabletop, and that's pretty cool, right? On its own, that is technically, like a gap, if you sort of imagine it as a gap. Now, here's how I progress. I was able to initiate my jumps on this booter at a much lower speed. Why? Because I just wanted to get comfortable with the feeling of having that steep angle. I still landed it on the tabletop, but he helped me understand the feeling of what it is or what it feels like to be able to hit this. Even if I landed somewhere in the middle, it was still perfectly fine because I was able to understand what it takes for your body to take a jump like that and to learn about body positioning and pedal positioning as well. How cool is that, right? And let me show you exactly what that looks like. Like I mentioned earlier, you want to start with some cool feature like that shoots you off. Why? Because you want to get used to that body positioning when there is a steep angle and you're going to be on the air just a tiny bit longer. So get used to that feeling. Start with something slow. If you cased it, it's fine. It's only a tabletop, but it will help you understand what you got to do when you hit those bigger jumps. So let me show you. Do it again. My heart is beating really quickly. As you were able to tell, you got to start slow. Focus on your technique, focus on your speed, but more importantly, focus on that body positioning and pedal positioning. If you're not used to being on the air for that long, this will get you a nice feeling, a nice pump. So for the next time you hit something like this, you will feel more comfortable. When you're focusing on the right elements of your jump, like your body positioning, the pedal positioning, and make sure your arms are, loose. You don't want to stiffen up too much because then you will have the dead sailor. Continue to practice your technique. That's what you need to be successful at a jump like this. Make sure you focus on a few things. Number one, make sure you stand up to the jump. Push all the way through until the very end. Make sure that the front tire takes off. And then with your legs, that's what you're pushing with, let go at the very end and they will give you that nice pop. Second, make sure you are focusing on your pedal positioning. You need to make sure they are at a slightly angle. 30 to 40 degrees more or less will help you keep control of your bike and make sure you don't lose it. Third, focus on your upper body. A lot of people tend to forget about the upper body, but this is why you have a lot of dead sailors. Make sure your arms are loose. You don't want to stiffen up on the jump because you naturally will have a dead sailor, and let's try to avoid that. And last but not least, you're having a lot of airtime for the first time, so enjoy it, make the most out of it, learn from your mistakes, and continue to practice. Now, let's hit it one last time as a full jump, and let's see what happens. Woo! So here's something very interesting. As you were able to tell, I almost cleared it, but I didn't. Why? Because you gotta continue to practice. You gotta feel comfortable with that jump. So now, what's left? Let's do it again.